Yo, what's up, everybody? My name's Jake Demai, and I run a bookkeeping company that I started from scratch. I'm an accountant. I graduated with an accounting degree from Westchester University, and I worked at a tax firm from being an intern all the way up until I started my bookkeeping company. I worked at various accounting firms. I worked at a regional firm. I worked at KPMG. I worked at a small firm, and that tax experience was valuable. I loved having that experience, but honestly, I got burnt out from tax seasons. Every spring, I'd just be totally wiped out. I'd spend no time with my family, and it just honestly was not the life I wanted to live. And so what I did was I started my own company, and I always envisioned starting a CPA firm. I never even thought about owning a bookkeeping company because I had just passed my CPA exams. I was an accountant. I was really good at it. But I saw an opportunity in the bookkeeping space to really knock it out of the park. I, from the get go from the get go, I had a lot of confidence because bookkeeping was I wouldn't say easy for me, but I knew accounting really well. I knew my debits and credits. I knew what a clean profit and loss and balance sheet were supposed to look like. I knew what a CPA wanted it to look like at the end of the year for tax purposes. And so that really helped me in the beginning. But I hated being an employee. I hated being told what to do. I hated commuting. I hated having to wear a nice outfit each day. Um, there were like a lot of things I hated about being an employee. I hated having to say yes to every project. And so I had this incredible itch to be an entrepreneur. And I honestly was thinking about like ditching accounting altogether to start a power washing business. Like I had, fantasized about those ideas, but I ran across this bookkeeping business idea, guys. And I'm just telling you now, and this is what I'm not even, this is just the intro. For me, like owning a bookkeeping business was the best thing I've ever done in my career. It's taken my pay and it's tripled it. It's taken my time and it's divided it in half. I have way more time with my family. I have the most flexible work schedule. I have my own office that's only 2 minutes away from my house. I can wear a backwards hat and I can wear my own branded T-shirts that my wife has learned to hate because I wear it every day. But guys, I love owning a business. It is the best thing I've ever done. It's so much fun to have control of your life and to be an entrepreneur. I can build my business however I want. I can fit it into I can fit it into my strengths, and I've created a business that fits into my personality and my style. And what I want to talk to you guys about now is how I manage 50 monthly clients per month. So I have 50 clients right now who pay me on a monthly basis to basically give them financial statements and to manage their QuickBooks. And so what does that mean? Basically, what I do is I categorize transactions, I reconcile those transactions to the bank statements and credit card statements, and then I send financial statements. There's a lot more to it than that. Every business is a little bit different. I have about 50 clients, and of those 50, maybe 45 of them are like different industries. I have a couple repeat industries, but for the most part, I work with basically any business that comes to me and uses QuickBooks Online. So I exclusively work in QuickBooks Online. But you might think to yourself, like, how do you do that? Like, how do you manage 50 clients? Because I actually just hired an employee, but before that, I was basically doing it all myself. And so I want to share with you a few key things that have really helped me. So the first thing I'll say is that I didn't like buy my business. I didn't acquire all 50 clients at one time. I earned them and I hustled for them, in the beginning, and I got like one or two clients per month. And so at that pace, it was so much more manageable because I was able to give each client the attention that they needed. I was able to learn the client. I was able to develop like processes, and I was able to keep things efficient and lean right from the get go. And so that was really helpful to be able to build up to 50 clients at a slow pace because I'm 4 years into it and I only have 50 clients. Honestly, that's not that many. I know there are other bookkeepers that have significantly more than that. I've chosen to go the slower route. I wouldn't necessarily say I've chosen it, but it's just happened that way because of the way that I prioritize my life. I will say 50 clients is a lot. It's plenty. And I make plenty of money for my family. And I genuinely enjoy, my life right now. So I'm going to get more. And so I'm excited about like the growth that I have, but I'm telling you 50 clients is plenty of clients. Another thing that is another key thing I do to be able to manage these clients is that I don't overdo it. So I'm not trying to be a tax firm. I'm not trying to do everything for everybody. I'm not sending out invoices. I'm not paying bills. I'm not, printing out receipts and saving things in filing cabinets. You can see my office is pretty paper free. I think I have one piece of paper here in my notepad, and that's really all I have. Everything is electronically stored. Um, but I keep things simple. Okay. So I keep things simple. I focus on just bookkeeping because I'm convinced that by niching down into one service, you're able to be the expert in that one service. And so I've kind of solidified myself as the expert in South Jersey when it comes to bookkeeping. And I love that. And what it does for me is it allows me to keep things lean. There's so much overlap between each client. So if I learn something on one client, it's probably going to apply to another client. And now that I have an employee, it's even easier to like delegate the work because it's all very similar. And I should do a whole nother video on how I delegate the work to my employee because I don't think there's any easier business to delegate than a bookkeeping business. Another key thing I do is I value like efficiency over perfectionism. I'm not a perfectionist. You would think as an accountant, as a bookkeeper, that I would be like obsessed with having things tied out to the penny. I'm not. I do my best to report the numbers. I reconcile all the bank accounts and credit card accounts. I tie out all the balance sheet accounts. I make sure things tie out in total. Okay, but I don't obsess over things that I can't figure out. I don't obsess over things that the client can't figure out. I move forward with what I have, and I just do my best. I think I do a really good job, but I do know that there are accountants out there that obsess with perfectionism and they spend way too much time on a specific client, or they get like frustrated or fed up with their current clients, and to me, it's just not sustainable to do it that way. Another key thing is boundaries. So I'm very firm with my clients right from the beginning about the work that I'm doing and the time that I'm working. I don't work after 4:30 p.m. I don't work on weekends. I don't respond to emails at night or on the weekends. I'm not very like fond of emergencies, and so my clients know that. They know my style. They know how quickly I get back to them. I respond to emails within 24 hours. So I just make clear the boundaries that I have. And so to me, that just keeps me sane. Boundaries are really important. And then the last thing, guys, is when I got to about 25 clients, I got maxed out at 25 clients. I was doing it by myself. And I had promised to my clients that I was going to get their books done 2 weeks after the close of the month. And just so you guys know, I do all my bookkeeping in one sitting. I don't do their bookkeeping throughout the month. I don't hop into their account every day or every week. I wait until after the end of the month, and then I do the bookkeeping for the previous 30 days. Okay. And to some people, it might seem overwhelming. And honestly, it kind of is. But like to me, I can get the books done in like under an hour if I do it that way, because I have access to their bank accounts. I have access to their payroll accounts. I have everything at my disposal. So I can sit down, I can get the books done, and then I can send it to the clients all in one sitting. And to me, like it's the most profitable use of my time to do it in one sitting. But I ran into a problem with 25 clients where I was trying to get it all done within 2 weeks after the close of the month, and I just couldn't do it. And actually, at one point, I sent a survey to all my clients. It was an anonymous survey, and I had like a list of questions because I was curious, like, what do my clients actually think about me? And one of the questions was about the timing of my delivery of my financial statements. And everyone was like super satisfied with the timing of my financial statements, except for one person. And it was anonymous. And so I have no idea who this person was, but they said they were extremely dissatisfied with the timing of my financial statements. And guys, it just bugged the crap out of me. I didn't know who this person was, but I hated knowing that there was somebody who was dissatisfied with my services. And it just made me think about ways that I can improve my business. And I was talking to my brother on the phone about this, and he suggested, and it was a great idea, to offer a discount to anybody who just didn't care about the timing of their financial statements. Because the reality is a lot of business owners just don't care. They don't even look at their financial statements. And so I didn't know who cared and who didn't care. And so what I did was I offered a 10% discount to basically anybody who was okay with a late delivery of their financial statements. So after the close of the month, if they were okay with like a 3 or 4 weeks after the close of the month, then they would get the discount. And what happened was about 50% of my clients took the discount. And so like instantly I lost about $1,000 from that discount. And so I was like torn about it. But guys, what it allowed me to do was it allowed me to spread the monthly workout over the course of a month. And so instead of being maxed out at 25 clients, I was able to add 20 more clients to my list. This is before I added my employee. I was able to add 20 more clients. And so even though I sacrificed $1,000 for this discount, I was able to grow my business. Like I was able to basically double my business by offering this discount. So that was one thing that I haven't really heard anybody else doing that I am doing. And my clients love it. And again, it just sets the tone. It sets the expectations. My clients, they know that the financial statements are coming later in the month. And so I don't have to stress about it. And things are kind of even keeled. So that is a few key tips for how I manage my 50 clients. If you have any questions, any comments about how I do the bookkeeping, or if you have any suggestions for future content, let me know. I'm new to this YouTube thing, and so I apologize if it's a little bit long-winded and if I share if I kind of ramble a little bit. But again, guys, I love the business that I created. And I know there are a lot of accountants out there that are struggling during tax season. They feel stuck with taxes, or maybe they're in audit, or maybe they're just in, maybe they're in the industry and they're just tired of being an employee. I want to offer you guys the knowledge that I've acquired in starting a bookkeeping business, so that you can start your own bookkeeping business as well. So if you are interested in like hearing more from me, you need to like and subscribe to this video, because I need to know if this information is helpful or not. If it's not helpful, then I won't get a lot of likes, I won't get a lot of subscribers, and eventually I'll catch on to that. So guys, I appreciate your time, and I'll talk to you later.